Welcome back, everyone. Dino Joe here. Today we got the Husqvarna 372 XP. This is a low top version. Came from overseas. We'll have a full teardown, machine work, porting, put it back together, get it on the dyno, and see how it does. Alright, stick around. Alright, here we have 2020 model Husqvarna 372 XP. This one came from overseas, that's why it's got the low top. But genuine Husqvarna 372. We'll get this tore down. Low top filter. Everything's Torx on these new ones, which is nice. Move the top cover. That all comes out as one assembly. Pull this recoil off. Got the blue limited coil. And we'll pull the clutch off so we can mount our wheel on it. There we go. Little T10 on the intake clamp. We'll pull this off. Alright, we'll pull that off. Set it up there. Alright, I've done a few of these so far, so I'm going to take 40 thousandths out of the squish band. Got the base to set the squish at about 24. And then we'll be back. here's the finished 372 cylinder. Raised, widen the exhaust, raised the uppers, notched out the lowers, cut the squish, and widen the intake a little bit. Now on this, we took 40 thousandths out of the squish band, ended up 78 intake, 102 exhaust, 122 transfers. These 372s go together as an assembly. So we'll get that cleaned up and put on. Here's the muffler mod we went with. These come with a tube style outlet from factory, being the overseas model, non-US. Put the medium wide deflector on top, poked a hole underneath, and that's it for the muffler mod. So we'll get this one put together and see what kind of power it makes. All right, put a drop of oil in the cylinder, spread it around. Got the ring compressor on. Yeah, we'll put it down. Guide your throttle cable in. Hook up the fuel line. And put the throttle cable back in. Make sure it works. Drop the cylinder bolts in. And I'll make sure this is seated in. And snug the bolts up. I like to push down on the cylinder and give it a little bit of a wiggle just to make sure that it seals good. You always want to keep some down pressure on it. Now make sure to line up the oil pump tanks. Right there. You can hear when they're lined up if it clicks when you wiggle it back and forth. I'm going to leave the limited coil on it for now. If I remember right, it should be about a 13.5 coil, which ought to be plenty for this build. It ought to tune real good right below the limiter. But if not, we can always swap it later. Now you want to make sure those top cover bolts stay tight, because if they don't, they'll rattle out and destroy the threads in there. Seen that happen on more than one of these. So just something to keep in mind. Throw the sparky spark back in. Here's the finished 372. This is with the low top cover, low top filter, low top. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the look of the low tops or do you like the high tops? Leave a comment, let me know. I kind of think these low tops are pretty sharp looking saws. So, here it is. And we'll see what kind of power she puts out. this ported 372. Numbers in the box taken at 9,900 RPM. 7.79 for the ported, 5.69 for the stock. So that works out to about 36% or so. Not too bad of a gain for a work saw. You can see the curves, awful similar shape, so they're going to have similar feel, just a whole lot more with the ported saw. Doesn't give up any torque down low. Holds about the same RPM. And power, 9,900. So overall, pretty happy with these gains. Should make a real nice saw. Alright, thanks a lot everybody.